The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. To find yourself, think for yourself. Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. Happiness depends upon ourselves. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. The unexamined life is not worth living. Wonders are many, and none is more wonderful than man. Courage is the first of human qualities, because it is the quality which guarantees the others. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. The way to gain a good reputation is to endeavor to be what you desire to appear. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. Happiness is the highest good. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Pleasure in the job puts perfection in the work. The only wealth which you will keep forever is the wealth you have given away. By all means marry. If you get a good wife, you will become happy. If you get a bad one, you will become a philosopher. An unexamined life is not worth living. The aim of art is to represent not the outward appearance of things, but their inward significance. He is richest who is content with the least, for content is the wealth of nature. There is no such thing as a great talent without great willpower. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. To be idle is the short road to death, and to be diligent is the way of life. Foolish people are idle, wise people are diligent. Man is the measure of all things. Everything flows, and nothing abides. Everything gives way, and nothing stays fixed. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. Remember that what you now have was once among the things you only hoped for. There is only one good, knowledge, and one evil, ignorance. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. Well-being is attained by little and little, and nevertheless is no little thing itself. The soul, like the body, accepts by practice whatever habit one wishes it to contact. All men by nature desire knowledge. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. Man is a social animal. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. An honest man is always a child. The only good is knowledge, and the only evil is ignorance. Character is destiny. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man. The greatest way to live with honor in this world is to be what we pretend to be. To do nothing is the good fortune of being able to do what we wish. There is nothing permanent except change. The mind is everything. What you think, you become. I count him braver who overcomes his desires than him who conquers his enemies, for the hardest victory is over self. It is not enough to win a war. It is more important to organize the peace. Man, know thyself, and you're going to know the gods. A true friend is one soul into bodies. Death is not the worst that can happen to men. Virtue is the harmony between what one does and what one believes. The end of labor is to gain leisure. Friendship is a single soul dwelling into bodies. In a gentle way, you can shake the world. All things are in flux. The flux is subject to a unifying measure or rational principle. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. One thing I know, that I know nothing. Good character, when established, is not easily overthrown by circumstances. To wear the barrenness of a busy life, it is not the man who has too little that is poor, but the one who hankers for more. I am what I am because of who we all are. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. The end of all knowledge should be service to others. Those who are hardest to love need it the most. He who commits injustice is ever made more wretched than he who suffers it. A friend to all is a friend to none. It is not living that matters, but living rightly. The virtue of justice consists in moderation as regulated by wisdom. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety. Life must be understood backward, but it must be lived forward.